Sharma channel here for a Champions League match preview. We're back. The song that's almost becoming a bit of a curse for Inter fans. You know, it's always a really nice, iconic song, but it's becoming a bit of a pain to hear these days for us Inter fans, isn't it? But we have to move forward. We have to move on and look forward to the new match against the Sherrif, FC Sherrif tomorrow at the San Siro at home. So at least it will be at home this match, and yeah, has to be the turning point. Nerazzurri NL in the house. What's up, bro? Once again, guys, bootleg streams today. Once again, my laptop still isn't fixed. Hoping tomorrow's supposed to be an engineer coming out to fix the laptop. So hopefully he'll be back with the normal streaming setup by by the time we get to maybe Juventus match. So apologies once again if the audio is not that good or if the image is not that good, but it is what it is. We move on, and yeah, got a couple of things to talk about today in terms of Inzaghi had his pre-match conference as well today with Milan Skriniar. They both spoke, and I have mixed reactions on that. Sendo8 in the house as well. What's up, brother? I can't pull up the comments on screen as usual, as you guys know, because of I'm streaming off my mobile phone, off my iPhone. Some of the things I liked what Inzaghi said today. First of all, that the team is angry about the result against Lazio, as we know, coming off a 3-1 loss against Lazio, our first loss in the Campionato in the Serie A. Not great, but a win in the Champions League is the best way to move forward. And he said that the players are angry about the result and they know where they went wrong. You know, in terms of he said this in the post-match press conference as well, that he felt like that was Inter's best 65 minutes performance in an away game this season, which, you know, he's probably right. When I think back to the away performances, it probably is right that was the best, you know, in terms of the first 60 minutes. It was really good, especially the playing out from the back. We've been struggling this year playing out from the back, but this against Lazio we played out so well, and that was also because, you know, Brozovic was balling out. But then he also touched on the last 15 or so minutes where, you know, Inter's heads, the players' heads just dropped. We lost our heads, as we talked about in the post-match reaction, and yeah, that's where he said, you know, the players are angry. He used the word incazzati, which, you know, it means the players were pissed, and he says that's a good sign of winners in this team, and we know this is a team of winners now. After a Scudetto winning season, this is a team of winners, proven winners. There's no denying that, but they need to continue proving that on the pitch, and they have to bounce back from that defeat against Lazio, for sure. And then there was also some comments from him that I didn't like as much, or was a little bit confused, and I want to see what you guys think about those comments. So he talked about, in terms of there's a lot of parallels to the Conte season from last year now. We're creating a lot of chances. So there's a stat that someone asked him about in the press conference that today came up in terms of the Champions League. Inter are the team that's created the most big chances in the whole of the Champions League, more than PSG, more than Man City, more than Liverpool. But the conversion amount, of course, we've got 0 goals, which is absolutely mental when you think about it, in terms of that we're creating more chances than these, you know, big teams, that big attacking teams, but we've converted 0. But on the other end, we're also conceding a few more bigger chances compared to other of the big team, which shows pretty much, you know, what we know from this season, and the exact same thing that was going on last season under Conte. You know, good attacking play in general, great chance creation. I would say apart from the Lazio match, every single match we've created loads and loads of chances, you know, in front of goal. But in the Serie A, it seems to be okay. You know, we're taking our chances, but in the Champions League, he was asked, is it a mental block? And he said, no, it's not a mental block. It's just, you know, circumstantial, that, you know, we're scoring in the league, but we're not really, you know, converting in the Champions League. But I think now it's been what 3 or 4 seasons that we're in the Champions League. It has to be mental. It's not just Inzaghi. It was under Conte and then it was under Spalletti. This lack of killer instinct when it comes to the big games in the Champions League, especially. And a lot of the same players are still there from those 3 or 4 years ago. So for me, I think it is a mental block, but it's a mental block that I think these players can get past. I think there seemed like there was a mental block in the league for a few years where we'd start off really well, then they would hit the stumbling block. Remember there used to be that December January period where we used to be like we used to call it the winter curse, but we seem to especially last season we seem to get past that, and in the end we secured a Scudetto. So I think the guys, as soon as some good performances are rewarded with some a good amount of goals, like I feel like this team needs like a big win in the Champions League, like a thrashing win. Like we need like a 3-0, like a 4-1 victory to get these guys to loosen up in the Champions League and feel like they belong there, because it almost feels like these guys almost feel the pressure a bit too much. And then looking back, there was a comment here from Kuro Black says we're going to be the first team to beat Sherrif. Yeah, I like the confidence. Sendo A, yeah, he says our defense is levels worse than last year. Now, are you talking about the defense in general? Because that's not accurate, because our defense was an absolute shambles until apologies once again. This is why I hate this setup. Can't see anyone commenting. Someone quickly comment if I'm still going on the stream. Yes, I am back. Thank you very much. No, King Darian is not soothing about the internet bill. If someone tried to call me, I'm using my mobile phone, unfortunately, because of my laptop situation, and it just froze the whole thing for some reason. Even though I rejected the call, I was like, pfft. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, the defense last year, up until November, our defense was a shambles until Conte in the November after the Sassuolo match. And this is a fact as well. Factually, we conceded more goals this season at the same point than we have now. So I disagree in terms of that. Now, if you're talking about post, that Sassuolo game, and then even further after, after December, January, our defense was hard, very hard to break down. Then yes, we're definitely worse than that. But Skriniar talked about that today as well. He said, yes, we're creating a lot of chances, but we're also conceding a lot of spaces, and we're conceding more goals than we like to. And then one thing that he said was that, as Inzaghi said, his teams, Inzaghi's teams, do concede a little bit more at the back, which is, I didn't quite enjoy that comment, because it seems like, I don't know if I'm reading into it too much, but it also seems like accepting that Inzaghi is fine with his teams. His Lazio team was known to be a little bit fragile at the back. Is he just accepting that this team is going to be fragile at the back, or is he going to try to address it? Because I feel like Inzaghi now, he's at a big club, and I rate Inzaghi quite high. I don't think he's like Conte level or anything, but maybe he could get there. But at a big club, you have to tailor some things. You have to change some things. You can't be gung ho, super fully attacking, and try to be Marcelo Bielsa, Gasperini, all this kind of stuff. But we saw Conte try to be that for some reason. We still don't know why Conte tried to be super offensive at the beginning of last season, trying to play this 3-4-1-2 with a high press. It was crazy, and it wasn't working. And he realized his error of his ways, and he brought the team a little bit back, and he changed the balance. And balance is a word that I've been using on the channel a lot this season, in terms of we're still waiting to find the right balance. And Skriniar and Inzaghi today used that word. Both of them used that word quite a bit today, in terms of looking for the right balance. But I have faith in Inzaghi. I will continue to have faith in Inzaghi, because I feel like he is an adaptable manager. I don't think he's going to be stubborn and hard-headed about continually trying to be super offensive and attacking and conceding a lot of spaces to teams. So we'll see. I hope he addresses the issues. I hope he finds the right balance. But funnily enough, tomorrow's probably not the right game to do that, because tomorrow we're gonna be the team on the front foot. Sheriff, you know, looking at the Sheriff's average possession in the last two matches, the two matches that they won, they have average of 25% possession. So we are playing a peak terrorist team. Terrorism that we haven't seen this year. So it's going to be very interesting. This is the first match that we're playing against a terrorist team. Most of the teams, pretty much every single team we've played this year has been high pressing, attacking us in terms of, very aggressive in terms of the pressing, in terms of attacking us. We haven't really faced a deep block team, which is surprising, which used to be actually our weakness. The deep block teams used to be our weakness. Instead, this year it seems like the high pressing teams are becoming a little bit of our weakness, as we've seen. So I'm actually interested to see how this Inzaghi team does against a low blocker team. Oh, we got Rabona TV in the house. What's up? No Sherrif influencer to join me. No, I'm using this bootleg setup with my mobile live streaming because my laptop isn't working. So yeah, I don't even know how I can invite people onto this. I don't think I can even have people on the YouTube live streaming like this. So yeah, just have to be me. You just have to see my face for a little bit, guys. RB Comps in the house says Inter Juve next. Yeah, obviously keep an eye out for that. Me and Giuseppe G Just Juve will probably link up for something special. Actually, yeah, RB Comps, I'll message you. I remember you said you wanted to join for that Inter Juve preview as well. So I'll message you. Keep an eye out on your yeah, probably on Twitter. I'll probably message you. So yeah, awesome or random stuff says has lost faith. Honestly, maybe they will bounce back. I really think Sherrif is going to beat as well. Not showing much faith there. Naraduri Netherlands says, I hope the Sheriff players feel the pressure away game and the first in the group. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. Sheriff, the surprise of the group. Of course, we know when we got this group, I was like, yeah, Sheriff. These are the guys that are going to get like 1 or 2 points in the group, and everyone else is going to be beating those guys. Excuse me. But no, completely wrong. Completely, egg on my face on that one. Sheriff are the surprise of the group. They're beating, Real Madrid. They beat Shakhtar as well, so deservedly first in the group. And Inzaghi said we're not underestimating them. They're first in the group for a reason. But as I said, tomorrow is going to be a very different match from what we've seen this season. I'm predicting Inter to have around, 60-70% of the possession like those Sheriff matches recently. What they're going to do, sit back, absorb pressure, and try to counter-attack. They're very good on the transition, so we need to watch out on the transition. The kind of goal that we conceded on the second goal that Lazio scored in the last match. Of course, that whole Di Marco debacle was going on at the time, but that's the type of goal that if Sheriff do score, that's the type of goal I see them scoring. Or that wonder goal that was that guy called Teal scored against Real Madrid. If you haven't seen that goal, go watch the highlights of Real Madrid Sheriff, because that goal on the half volley pinged into the corner, no chance for Courtois. But it's not like Sheriff won't give you any chances. Even if they do sit back, they do defend quite well. Real Madrid had like 31 shots, if I'm not mistaken, in that Sheriff match. They created lots of chances. The Sheriff keeper was the man of the match. He had to make 10 saves. Real Madrid dominated that match. They just weren't able to convert their chances. So we just hope that we don't have that similar type of performance. We can't. We have to win. It's a must-win match for Inter. There's no other answer. There's no other result for this match. A draw, a loss is just. And then even if we don't win, in my opinion, we just don't deserve to go through. Like, I don't even want Inter to go through if we can't beat Sheriff at home. I don't care that Sheriff have got 6 points and the Cinderella story. Inter, you have to beat Sheriff at home. There's no other way, and that's the only way to kickstart this Champions League campaign. And apparently, Inzaghi was asked about it in the press conference. Apparently, it's been a year since, or almost a year since Inter have scored in the Champions League, so which is crazy. Going back to some of the things that Inzaghi mentioned in his press conference, he will evaluate the team so we can move on to the predicted lineups. And you guys let me know what you guys think in terms of the predicted lineups. Stanley Sastro says we need an early goal to win the match tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. these are the type of matches where an early goal changes everything, because then Sheriff have to come out. They have to, try to. Well, actually, I don't even know if Sheriff really need to come out, because they've got 6 points. This is more points than they probably ever dreamed of. Even one goal probably doesn't really pull Sheriff out to, too much out of their shell. But of course, early goal is vital. That's the best way to kickstart things. And we have to score a goal in the Champions League, guys. Still haven't scored a goal in the Champions League. Like, it's getting ridiculous. And if AC Milan go through this year and we don't go through, I mean, they're in the group of death, and oh, I mean, that would just be embarrassing. Like, that can't happen. If we don't go through, we just have to pray that Milan don't go through, because that's just, oh, I'm gonna have to like deactivate my Twitter if that happens. Eduardo says this is the game to prove we can go above and beyond, and to leave the last game lost behind, especially with the Juve up next weekend. Yeah, good point. With the Juve game as well, build back the confidence, build back that belief, get the juices flowing again before that big match, which again is going to be at home as well. So I heard that Inter are aiming for around 100,000 fans for both matches in total to be attending, which is going to be great. So the fans are going to be there in numbers. So give the fans a show, give the fans a good performance. Kuro Black says, I'm saying Vidal should start. So yeah, we can get into the predicted lineup. So I can't pull anything up because I said I'm on my mobile. But I've got the who scored predicted lineups here, who've got pretty much the usual lineup, but they have Dumfries starting at right wing back instead of Darmian, and they have Vecino starting at left centre mid instead of Hakan or Gagliardini, who started in the last match. Perisic on the left. Backline the exact same as was expected, and then up front Lautaro Martinez and Dzeko returning the starting duo. Yeah, pretty much I agree with that lineup. I think Darmian started against Lazio, he was good, but I think one of the players to watch out for for the Sheriff team is Cristiano, the left back, who has a 8.44 average rating on who scored. He's like one of the highest rated players in the Champions League this season, and he has been one of the big threats for Sheriff on the counter attack. Left fullback with a good left foot. He's been putting some great crosses in, which they've converted on the counter attack, and so he's definitely one to watch out for. Yes, we still have some worries about Dumfries defensively, as we've seen, but I feel like these Champions League matches are better suited for Dumfries. I feel like his physicality, I feel like his pace, and if Sheriff are going to sit deep, him getting into the box for potentially getting some headers in, for some crosses from Bastoni or Perisic or Di Marco, whoever plays, having that extra threat in the box. I think for that reason I would start Dumfries. In terms of on the other side, looks like Perisic is starting, and I'm happy with that. I think Perisic for these Champions League nights, I think he's the starter. He had a good game as a striker against the Lazio, but returning to his now proper position. And then there's also been talk of maybe dropping Bastoni, but there's no real good alternative to Bastoni. Yes, Bastoni hasn't been good this season yet against Lazio. Once again, he wasn't great, but he has to start, and the only way to turn around Bastoni's performances is to keep playing him and hoping that he improves. But yeah, what do you guys think in terms of the left centre mid position? Kuro Black says Vidal must start. Filippo says Inzaghi had a talk with Chala today in training. He really believes in him, doesn't he? Yeah, he does really believe in him. He always singles him out in press conferences. Today he didn't talk about him, but whenever he's asked about Hakan, he always says, I really wanted him, I really believe in him. He's much better than he thinks he is. He talks and he says he's really happy with what he's done. But there's still doubts on him being fit. Against Lazio, there was talk that he had a big knock for Turkey. Nick Snock says, Hakan getting asked out of the team already. I don't think so. I think it's more due to the injury he had over the international break. We've seen that Hakan has started pretty much every single game apart from the Lazio one, which was due to injury, and the Bologna game, which was he was that was one game that he was dropped for. So I wouldn't say at the moment it seems like Inzaghi is really still pushing on the Hakan train, and I don't blame him. As I said, you have to give the guy time. Dumfries, he's been okay. Hakan has been okay. Dzeko has been really the one new signing that's kind of just come in and made a massive impact straight away. So the jury's out. Correa definitely, jury's definitely out on Correa. I see people are starting to turn on Correa already, but of course he's our most expensive signing of the summer. But let's give these guys some time. Let's give these guys an injury-free period where they can get integrated into the team, and let's see what they can really do. In a few months, then we can start talking about flops and all that kind of stuff. Also, more random stuff says Bastoni should stay. We don't have any other good centre back. Exactly. Who else are you going to play? You're going to play Kolarov there? Don't think so. Especially against a counter-attacking team. Dimarco, maybe Dimarco. He wouldn't even be too bad of an option today in this match, because you're going to have 60-70% of the possession probably in this match, and so Dimarco, having that extra technical player building out from the back might be useful, doing those overlapping runs. But again, you're going to be exposed on the counter attack, so we have to watch out for that for sure. And then we have to be a lot more switched on, guys. In that second goal, Brozovic completely switched off. Felipe Anderson was completely free for that second goal. We have to really watch out for those transitions, for sure. Kuro Black says Vidal offers Grinta so he can scare Cristiano. Yeah, but he would be playing on the other. He would be playing on the other side, because Vidal would probably play as a left centre mid if he plays, and Cristiano plays as a left back, so he would be on the opposite sides. But yeah, I agree. I would go for Vidal, because he's played 2 matches now. He came back from injury, played 2 matches for Chile in the international break. And from what I hear, he was pretty good. Alexis Sanchez apparently was really good as well for Chile in the international break. So I'm actually, I wouldn't be against putting Vidal in this match, because I feel like once again he provides a threat in the box as well. He's got that goal scoring threat that he offers much more than Hakan and Gagliardini for sure. Vecino can offer that as well, but we saw Vecino when he played against Shakhtar. He doesn't really offer too much, especially as a starter. I feel like Vecino is becoming more of an impact substitute, that he comes on with chaos and can create chances with his heading ability and getting into the box late. And as always, we've got a deep bench now, so Vidal, 55th, 60th minute, I think his legs can only give him around that time these days for Vidal. Then take him off, bring on whoever you want to make an impact off the bench. And yeah, I think even Sanchez, against the closed defense, against the deep defense, I wouldn't be against starting, a Lautaro Sanchez or a Sanchez Dzeko. Sanchez Dzeko is a partnership we are yet to see. I would be interesting to see, how those two may combine. We've got nice options now. So everyone is fair. Even Stefano Sensi trained with the team today apparently, so even he's back and available. So the options are back and available for Simone Inzaghi. Gianluca, Dzeko, Lautaro apparently are the favourites to start, and I'm for that. They are the starting duo, but I also want to make sure that these guys are fresh for the Juventus match, because in the Juventus match it has to be these two. I don't want any of these two to be tired or get any type of injury. In the Juve match it has to be Dzeko, Lautaro. In this one, as I said, against a closed defense, against a deep block, I wouldn't be against playing Alexis Sanchez or a Joaquin Correa, who can, these kind of guys who can create something 1v1 and do something a little bit different. So let's see what Inzaghi goes for. Another player to watch out for Sherrif is on the right wing back, Adama Traore, not the one that plays for Wolverhampton. He's a different guy. Another one who's in the highlights I've seen of them, he's been quite impressive on the right wing. And the keeper, as I said, was the man of the match against Real Madrid. So it seems like he's a good goalkeeper. And in general, I think set pieces one to watch out for. Their coach actually mentioned that he's scared of Inter's height and set piece presence, especially Skriniar in the air. Inter's average height, according to Who Scored, if we put out this predicted lineup here, is 185 centimeters compared to Sherrif, who have 181.8 centimeters average height. So Inter definitely a more physical, taller team, and I think we should be able to take advantage of that on set pieces. And we've seen we are very threatening, especially if Dzeko starts with Skriniar, who's crazy good in the air these days. De Vrij, Bastoni, if Vecino plays, if Perisic plays, that's definitely a weapon that we should utilize. In this match. it's funny to see the stats. They've got 3 goals and we've got 0 goals. Um, we have to score some goals, man. Joe says he will start Correa Dzeko. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that. Correa Dzeko. I don't think I don't think we've seen that from the beginning, have we yet? Eduardo says give Lautaro some rest and start with Sanchez so that he has more stamina for Juve. Yeah. I mean, we kind of did rest Lautaro in the Lazio match, didn't we? We only gave him like the last 10-15 minutes. But I agree. I would be in favor of, you know, bringing on Lautaro if if things are looking sticky in the second half and 50th, 60th minute we're still 0-0 or even losing, then bring on Lautaro. But I guess it's so important to get a win now that you have to start the best possible duo up front. So I wouldn't blame Inzaghi if he does start with the Martinez and Dzeko. Awesome of random stats says Ronaldo is who I fear. He knows how to make good runs and swing those balls into the box. I'm guessing you're talking about Cristiano. I don't see anyone called Ronaldo on the team. I'm guessing you're talking about Cristiano. But yeah, he's the highest rated player on who scored for them this season, and he seems to be the main threat coming forward when they counter attack. Alessandro says he will go for the best forwards, Lautaro and Dzeko. Yeah, he will 90% he will go for Lautaro Dzeko. But I'm just saying that I wouldn't be against potentially playing Alexis, especially Alexis. He's got something to prove a little bit, hasn't he, after the Instagram post he made? Talking about this Lamborghini in the sand and not feeling appreciated. So maybe he's got, a point to prove, something burning in his backside to show Inzaghi that maybe he deserves to be getting more minutes. So, those kind of hungry players are always, you shouldn't, rule them out for sure. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, guys. What are you guys telling me in terms of match predictions before I go? Sitia Pereira says, which match you want to win the most, bro? Sherrif or Juve? Oh wow, that's a difficult question because we have to get this. We have to get this Champions League win. We haven't even got one win yet. So, but the Juve match is the biggest match of the season for me. So, you've asked me the impossible question there. No comment. Interista late and bum here, nothing but a win tomorrow. At the end of the day, Sherrif is a little team and we should treat them as such. Yeah, but of course, we still should treat them with respect. But as I said, yeah, Inter should beat Sherrif. There's no question about that. There's no excuses. Lord Figo says I shot the Sherrif. Yeah, that used to be Diego Godin's nickname, wasn't it? The Sherrif. Yeah, we need someone to shoot the Sherrif. We need Lautaro, the gunman, to shoot. We need that celebration back, the one that him and Lukaku used to do. The gun celebration. So we shoot the Sherrif. Inter 1, Sherrif 0. Awesome random stuff. Kuro Black says Inter 3, Sherrif 1. I'm gonna go for a conservative prediction. I still feel like we're gonna struggle to score. I feel like we're gonna create chances, and once again, we're not gonna convert many of them. But I feel like we will win, and we'll finally get a win under our bag. But it'll be a difficult match. I feel like Sherrif will hit us with some good counterattacks, and we will score a goal. I still feel like this defense here still isn't solid enough. I feel like we'll get punished on the counter-attack. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory for Inter. Might sound a bit negative, but I feel like that's quite realistic with how Sherrif have been doing. And also how Inter have been performing recently. But I think a 2-1 win, I would take that any day. Alessandro says if we had the revenge strongness like after the Real game, remember Bologna, yeah, 4-0. Let's see, I'm confident that Inzaghi and the team finds the correct way to get the result. Forza Inter. Yeah, nice, Ale. Yeah, that's a good point. Inter this past season have shown that, after a negative result, they're able to bounce back like we did against Bologna. But Bologna were a shambles in that match. I'm not expecting Sherrif to be such a shambles here. Eduardo says either 1-0 or 2-0. Okay, so he's going for a clean sheet. That would be really nice to get a clean sheet, man. We need to get more clean sheets under our belt this season. Get this confidence back in the defending. Get some discipline back in the defending. Kuro Black says Denzel gonna score his first goal. Hey, I like it. Let's go for that. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a Denzel goal as well, predicting if he starts, a Denzel goal, and a yeah, let's go for a Dzeko. Dzeko, Lautaro to score and break the lock, and then Dumfries gets the other one, and then they get one on the counter attack. In my opinion, and then yeah, man. Tomorrow I'll see you guys for the post-match reaction, which hopefully will be positive, and then of course after that, the Juventus Derby d'Italia preview. As I said, G Just Juve, probably trying to link up with him, my friend Giuseppe, for that match. Yeah, guys. 30 people of you in here. There's only 15 thumbs up, so make sure you're leaving the thumbs up before you leave. Once again, bootleg stream, so I hope you guys are not minding the audio and the quality too much, because I'm just making do at the moment without my laptop. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter. Let's bring this first Champions League win home and put some respect on the Inter name. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter.